Fury Standard Amplified Dukemon Gallantmon from arguably the best season of Digimon, Digimon Tamers. Looking at the box, we see some excellent cover art of Gallantmon striking something down with its lance, along with some fantastic examples of dynamic poses on the sides. Inside the box, we find 13 runners that use some excellent colored plastic, a sheet of color correcting foil stickers, and the vinyl sheet for the cape segments. Now, some of you might be thinking,
I don't remember this guy from Digimon the movie.
And to that I say, sit down, shut up, and let me enlighten you to the glory that is Digimon Tamers and Gallantmon. Digimon Tamers is the third season of the series,
Written by Chiaki Konaka.
Oh no! And directed by Yukio Kaizawa. Unlike the first two seasons, Tamers featured significantly more mature themes, including a very melancholy ending, and some incredibly unsettling imagery. In an alternate universe where the two seasons spawned a super successful media franchise. So, you know, the real world. Gallantmon is the mega-level Digivolution of Guilmon, the partner Digimon of Takato.
Takato-man?
Outside of Tamers, Gallantmon is also classified as one of the Royal Knight Digimon, along with others like Omegamon, Magnamon, and Alphamon, in service to Yggdrasil. Gallantmon is a living contradiction, being a hero of chivalry while also being a virus-type Digimon, capable of losing complete control of itself. Now with the basic lore out of the way, let's biomerge Digivolve this kit together and see how it turns out. Going into Gallantmon, I expected the build process to be a lot like the old Omegamon kit from several years ago. I'm incredibly grateful to say that it's much better, but not without some flaws in the build process. The kit is straightforward and fairly simple to build in roughly 3 to 5 hours, depending on your level of distraction. Much of the kit relies on clamshelling pieces together, as we've become familiar with from this line of kits, but fortunately the seam lines aren't terribly visible and should be fairly easy to remove. One of the biggest highlights of the build on this kit is the use of the clear red plastic over the gold to break up some of the larger areas of color. There are a few instances in the manual where the instructions could be a bit more clear, especially on the assembly of the cape. Speaking of the cape, while assembling it, be extra careful not to crease any more than you have to because it will hold the creases pretty heavily. I may be alone in this, but I did not enjoy the build process of the cape at all, because the entire process felt clumsy. Finally, to finish things off, the kit comes with a small sheet of color correcting stickers, most of which are mainly used for small details and some very minor color corrections of some sections of the silver plastic that should be red. For more advanced builders, this kit does lend itself to relatively easy customization and detailing with only one major exception. Everything is easy to disassemble for painting, including all of the clear red parts that just slot into place with an opening in the back to free the pieces. From what I can see, there's next to no concern of issues of paint rubbing, and the biggest issue I can see with customizing this kit is for anyone who may want to convert it over to either Chaos Gallantmon or do a custom recolor because of the panels used on the cape. If I were to make a recommendation, track down an Omegamon kit and bash it with this to give you a more workable cape. Gallantmon itself doesn't have much for gimmicks, but it's in the accessories where the gimmicks truly shine. Included in the kit are 2 fists with removable wrist cuffs, the Holy Lance Gram and the Holy Shield Aegis, and a small stand. Gram can be transformed from Lance mode to Blade mode by simply extending the tip of the blade and opening the base. Aegis is the standout accessory for this kit though. I mean, look at the impressive size of that shield and the level of detail on it, especially the digicode on the outer ring. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to translate it. Hopefully you guys can and let us know in the comments. It also has a really cool gimmick that allows it to appear like it's venting energy from its inverted 0-unit core that's activated using a mechanical switch in the back. When the kit is equipped with both Gram and Aegis, it really does have a noticeable presence amongst the other kits in this line. The posability of this kit is pretty much what we've come to expect from the humanoid-type Digimon of this line, with a single joint at the elbows and double joints at the knees. Much like Omegamon before it, Gallantmon does have a very limited range of movement at the neck due to the helmet shape of the head and the high collar. There is absolutely no ab crunch on this kit, but I mean, looking at that waist, it's cinched enough to even make a drag queen breathless. The shoulders have an interesting design, as they are actually in 3 pieces if you count the pauldrons. With a little finesse, this design should allow some interesting poses if you adjust the placement of the ball joint going into the torso. The hips of the kit have some extra range of up and down movement, which will allow more freedom of posing, especially on an action base. Now you might be expecting me to be critical of the cape again, but in all honesty, the one redeeming quality of the cape is that it actually is fun to pose. Believe me that I'm just as shocked as you are. Speaking of shock, much to my surprise, Bandai carried over the ratcheted joints in the shoulders and elbows like we saw in the Machinedramon kit from earlier this year. But they sadly aren't quite strong enough to hold more exaggerated poses when the weapons are equipped, because the shield is incredibly heavy. I genuinely hope this is something Bandai carries forward and continues to improve on as they continue producing this line. The one thing to keep in mind when buying this kit is that if you truly want to get the most out of posing, be sure to pick up your action base or flying base of choice at the same time to really get the most out of it. So you must be thinking, does Sean like this kit or not? And my answer is actually yes. When I first saw promo images for this kit, I was genuinely prepared to hate everything about it, because Bandai appeared to be cheaping out on this kit in order to release it in time for Tamer's 20th anniversary. But that isn't the case here. The kit does have one part in particular that does give it a cheap feel, which I hope doesn't continue past the next kit in this line, but everything else definitely meets my expectations for a $50 to $60 kit. It's a mostly fun build, it looks great out of the box, and the gimmicks are genuine jaw-droppers. It's a definite buy in my books if you're a fan of Tamers, love the Guilmon line, or just need to get a serious Arthurian legend fix. Either way, be sure to have your local Canadian hobby shop order it in for you today from Plamod.
Hey GTS fam, if you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like, remember to subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you can see when we put something up immediately. And if you have any questions or comments for us, leave them down in the comments. I promise you that we're gonna read them, and I think we do that all the time. So yeah, we hope you guys take care, and we'll see you in the next one.